The Education Secretary always reminds us that in the past, when there were military sieges or volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, typhoons, floods, learning continued. The Undersecretary of Education statements echoed on the shackle foundation of education with the pandemic. Scholastic achievements have been correlated onto the nation to foster as it elevates job acquisition that equips future professionals for strengthening our economy. According to Almerino et al. 2020, before the pandemic, the scholastic achievement status of Filipinos has significantly increased as it incorporated K-12 that prevents job mismatches which have increased the global competency of scholastic achievement among students. However, in March 2020, a pandemic was declared which squeezed the educational system to halt. Once, twice, and in a snap, the COVID-19 cases had gone haywire. The 3.67 million cases has caused a reform in the educational system. Until now, our country hasn't gotten back to normal, which affects 27 million Filipino students. With these, we inquire, how did the pandemic affect scholastic achievement of students? A coin has two sides, a pessimistic and optimistic one. Now we flip as we shift our gaze. The pessimistic, prisoner, and prejudice profane of the pandemic. We witness the other side of the coin. The socio-economic discrimination rose up to 30%, leaving other learners behind of the scholastic achievement. Socioeconomics has been a long problem in the educational system before the pandemic and has intensified within the new educational system. Socioeconomic discrimination such as minimal resources and slow internet connectivity puts the learners at a disadvantage, targeting low socioeconomic status students in rural areas, specifically in Mindanao, as the Philippines have 110 million population which have unreliable connectivity, UNICEF Philippines 2020. When we begin further to the neurons of the brain of one's students, the learner's mental health in the pandemic has turned abysmally. According to Asian Journal of Psychiatry in the Philippines, the heightened demand for technological skills, creativity, and massive pieces of information in educational achievement locked up, causing isolation and overwhelming educational requirements, elevating students' anxiety and absenteeism. Printed modular learning is widely implemented in the Philippines. 65% of public schools intensify self-reliance during the course of learning. The diversity of students in a classroom consists of both excelling and slow-paced learners. The blight of the pandemic has damaged the teachers-based instructional environment due to distant learning. In turn of these, the socio-economic discrimination, self-reliance, and the impact on mental health have contributed to the decreased scholastic achievement among students. Now, we flip again. Our gaze shifts to the silver lining, the other side of the coin. The learning modalities have included resource-friendly activities on modular learning. Several activities included recycled materials that are widely available at home. Activities included models of atoms utilizing plastic cups. The learning system has adjusted it to a home-based learning which eases the predicaments of low socioeconomic students. Discovery learning has been widely applied in the educational system modalities such as modular learning. This enhances skills of self-learning and decision-making to increase scholastic performance. Associated positive learning personalities have been seen on the online classes setup as students have a grip of their time in learning. What's a better place for convenience? Right, our homes. The learners are sheltered in the educational system which has flexibility and convenience. Hence, in online learning setups, students are offered opportunities to study with their own choices. The productivity and creativity are significantly better when we have a convenient workspace. Consequently, educational achievement will slowly but surely elevate. Although we can't leave behind the numbers of the educational when the scholastic achievement of students had dropped significantly. The annual growth rate of scholastic achievement was 2.04% before the pandemic, which turned into negative 9.6%. Yet still, we are steadfast, we are continuing, and we still seek to elevate scholastic achievement among students. The continuation of learning alone is an illuminating silver lining amidst the plight of the educational system. The attempt to re-establish educational scholastic achievement is precedent. But for now, we should maximize the educational modality through innovations and action researches, provide multimedia-aided instruction, interactive videos, and simulations. We as students should strive to learn through inquiries on the structures and accomplishing required academic activities. A coin always has two sides. We need to avert our gaze in improving the falling scholastic achievement of the Philippines. The Education Secretary always reminds us that in the past, when there were military sieges or volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, typhoons, floods, even during this pandemic, learning continued. I am Ysabela Ricka Ballesteros from Tayug National High School, Tayug, Pangasinan. Thank you for listening.